I didn't know what I was gonna open up the pod with today. Like I was gonna open it up with a song,
Okay.
but I didn't know what song.
I was about to say, what song did you have
Yeah,
in
I
mind?
didn't have a song in mind, so I'm not gonna open it up with a song. But I am gonna open it up with something I saw on Twitter, a conversation that's been going on. So, I, Is God Is just came out, and then I
Yes.
Love Boosters just came out.
Yes.
And like naturally, I was going to see those two movies just because they look interesting to me. But there was this conversation that started just around like this idea of the fact of like, should we have to support Black films just because a Black person made it? Or can we just support the ones that we, as the public, actually want to see? And I thought it was a pretty fruitful conversation because I could see both sides of the argument. But at the same time, it's like I see both sides of the argument of like, yes, we should support Black art because obviously if we show up in numbers, like it shows itself.
Right.
But at the same time, I do feel that like people shouldn't feel forced to support something that they don't want to support.
I agree.
I just don't know if like that whole idea of like, oh, well, I'm not supporting this because I just don't want to see it, X, Y, and Z. Like if that has something to do with the taste, or is that just because of like how we're conditioned to think?
I feel like it's a little bit of both because when you said that we don't have to support something just because a certain group of people made it or something like that, I feel like it kind of, I just came up with this whole concept of like artistic autonomy.
Okay.
Where you basically have the free will to enjoy something because it appeals to you or resonates with you artistically. I feel like if we just look at the art instead of who the art is made by and allow it to be, I guess, less subjective, I feel like in that way you can broaden the demographic or like even broaden the horizons on how far something actually gets or what you actually like. What are you actually consuming it for?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, do you like it because it's aesthetically pleasing? Do you like it because it's something that you can connect to on a personal level? Or are you just fucking with it because your homeboy made it? You get what I'm saying? And then it's like, even with that, if you go see it or support it because a certain person that you know made it or because, you want to support a certain group of people, are you going to be honest with how you feel about it?
That's true.
So I feel like I see both sides of the argument, but I feel like artistic autonomy is important because even if you think about the creators, it's like, who did they make it for? But does that really matter? Like, just enjoy the shit.
Yeah, if you like it, if you like it.
Yeah.
I like that. Hi.
Hey.
How you doing?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Well, I don't know. Like, whatever. Y'all get this shit when y'all get this shit. But it's your girl Kia here.
It's Rissy.
And this is the Cool Theory Podcast.
Yeah.
So today we are picking up where we left off on the last episode, where we talked about kind of like the Black auteur era of cinema when you started getting the Spikes and the John Singletons and the Reginald Hudlins and Robert Townsend.
Shout out to them.
Yes. But yeah, that whole era of filmmaking. But now we're going to talk about like TV and kind of how that was changing in the 90s. I think we should just jump right in.
Let's go.
Let's just jump straight into
Dive
the notes. We're also doing like a straight through episode, so like we're not stopping for breaks. So literally, if I get up, I really want to put my lip gloss on right now. But if I get up,
So like, just do it.
I probably I feel like I should. That's very girly of me. I don't know. Like I just want to be girly and have my lip gloss on.
I mean, we're in our feminine energy. Why not?
I really want to like put my lip gloss on. So I'm gonna. Oop, and my lighter is right there.
You know what's crazy? I looked at it, it didn't register to me. Like, oh shit!
Like, oh,
that shit is just natural.
It's just so and then I have sweaty hands. This is all very in real time.
No, I'm gonna put some gloss on with you.
Yeah, I want to be girly.
Let's
the
be
fuck.
girls.
I was gonna put more effort into my outfit, but I'm feeling kind of lazy today, and I ate too many tacos.
It's okay. I had tacos last night too, and I had the craziest heartburn. It's like once you get to your late 20s,
girl, like what is happening?
Be kicking your. I've never had heartburn like this.
Like what? Like what the fuck? Jesus be a fucking gas expert. because I was in that motherfucker stressed the fuck out this morning. I said, "Ooh, the chest is burning."
Yo.
I was like, "Do I have to send some text messages
Like,
out?"
I'm at a point where I have to drink green tea every day just for things to
Like,
feel somewhat normal.
no.
But then I got to worry about kidney stones, because if you drink too much tea, you get kidney stones.
Oh, this
It's
is
just-
at the age where we just everything's gonna kill us. Like, I just like I can't. It's just too much. It's a lot on my spirit. But yeah, we're gonna jump straight in because now I feel girly.
Okay, great.
So in 2 episodes ago, I think that 2 episodes ago we talked about like Black entertainment overall, and we were talking about TV in the 80s and how like there were Black TV shows on in the 80s. Not too many reached mainstream, but there were some. But by the 90s, as we all know, there really becomes this explosion of just Black entertainment on TV. So setting the stage, because the networks are important for this episode, and for 2 episodes ahead. Yes. So prior to, I'm pulling up my notes because I'm a smart person. So prior to 1986, there were 3 big networks. There was ABC, CBS, and NBC. And those were the main networks from the 50s to the 80s that ran shit. Then in 1986, Fox Broadcasting Company was launched by Rupert Murdoch, who, if you don't know about the Murdoch family, everything with them, I would suggest watching Succession. Now, is Succession a biography? No, it's not. But that is the Murdoch family.
Loosely based.
Very loosely
based.
but still tight. Inspired.
It's like, if you know, you know.
You know, yeah. And it's just one of the, I fucking love that
It's
show.
a great show.
If this was just about cinema and shit, I'd would give a whole episode to Succession. But, so he starts Fox in 1986, and he starts it off with like his main base of shows. So there's, the style was very like, not family friendly. Like, they just very like grunge 90s, like very anti-establishment. He had these little shows on there. One was by a woman named Tracy Ullman, and she had a sketch series within that show, and that branched off and became The Simpsons.
Yep. So
The Simpsons kind of became like their major flagship show that kind of like held them down. There was also Married with Children, which I actually love Married with Children. That's like one of my dream is that if I ever like end up with a family, we can dress up as married, like the family.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, like, because everybody wants to be like the Proud Family and stuff. No, like,
no, let's do
be a little bum.
Yeah.
Be a little raunchy a little bit.
A little bit.
Beverly Hills 90210 was also on Fox. The X-Files was on Fox. And In Living Color was on Fox. And those were like the main shows that kind of like started off like the Fox network and led them to kind of being what they are today. So we're just going to jump straight into like the shows that were important on Fox. So we just mentioned In Living Color. In Living Color, Martin, and Living Single. Yeah, those were the main 3 Black shows that they had on Fox. And Fox was really like important because their whole thing was targeting younger audiences, a younger demographic. It didn't matter if you were Black, white, or Hispanic. Even if you just look at the slate of shows they had, The Simpsons, Married with Children, like Beverly Hills 90210. It's no matter if it's like for the younger crowd, the Black younger crowd, the stoner crowd, whatever, like they kind of had that for you. But it really was the Black shows that kind of established like their identity. And of course that first show is In Living Color. So In Living Color was created by Keenan Ivory Wayans, who we did talk about last episode, with everything with Robert Townsend. So by this point he's done I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. He's done Hollywood Shuffle. I feel like there's like another movie that I'm missing in there that he possibly did. But by this point,
was it Major Pain?
I was going to say Major Pain. I think it was Major Pain. Or Major Pain came out around that early time of In Living Color. So by this point, he's kind of making his name, but also his family is starting to make their name too, because Kim is starting to be in certain films. Damon is the main one who's like shining alongside Keenan. We're slowly getting to the point where Sean and Marlon become kind of like the blueprint as far as like in how the Wayans family is seen publicly. And I think it's important to talk about the Wayans family just in general because like they really are, in my opinion, like the first family of comedy.
Absolutely.
Like every single last one of them were funny, are funny. The fact that they all came from the same family, even just if you know their family story and history and how they grew up, it's like they kind of had no other choice.
They didn't have a choice. They had like, this is it.
That was what God wanted for them.
This was their destiny.
Entertainment for sure. And I think it's also commendable because looking at the creative tree, you have Keenan, who's he's not I don't believe he's the oldest in the Wayans, but as far as the one who actually like left to start his entertainment career, for him to go off to Hollywood with Robert and then to not only do that, but to say, hey, I'm bringing my family along with me. Because actually, one day I was doing research on the Wayans family. Damon was actually like going through some things. He had went to Connecticut and like started a family and stuff like that. And Keenan was like basically like, okay, well then come out here and we're gonna get you started. We're gonna get you working. And slowly but surely, every single sibling just kept coming out to LA.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. Like the fact that you could really just create your own infrastructure to put your family on. Like I think that's like the flyest shit ever.
That's definitely a goal of mine.
Yeah. Like who doesn't want to, like, especially if you know you come from a family of talented people.
Yeah.
Why not just let's all get on?
It's like if we don't have access to the resources, let's just create them.
Yeah.
Ourselves. Like
why not? So In Living Color, again, created by Keenan Ivory Wayans, and it kind of was like Fox's response to SNL, because like Saturday Night Live in the 70s when it was created was like very cool for its time, but by the time that you get to the early 90s, it really wasn't seen as the cool show anymore. It really wasn't that funny, that culture. They're not what they are today. Like now you go on SNL, they're doing skits about shit that we're seeing on TikTok. But like at that time, they were still kind of out of the loop. And so In Living Color was just so different because you had a majority black and his really it was just only one white person. That was Jim Carrey. But you have this majority African American cast. You have a majority African American and Latin or Hispanic dancers. You have hip hop artists who are performing. It's a whole different world, and it's actually tapping into what was actually culturally happening at that time. Because I think what was happening, and we'll talk about that more, especially once we get to like Fresh Prince, of just like I don't think mainstream America was really ready yet to fully embrace the hip hop kind of almost MTV young.
It was still new.
Yeah.
It was still very new. It was still very niche. They didn't understand it. Just yet.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people were a little slow at understanding, like, hey, the times are changing a bit. And something that was very niche, aka black culture, it's now starting to infiltrate mainstream culture. In Living Color was really like the first time of that. And then, of course, with In Living Color, like we said, you get Jim Carrey, you get Jamie Foxx, you get Jennifer Lopez, who was a fly girl. There's so many people who worked on that show as a dancer or just on the cast who has gone on to become like just huge stars in their own right.
It was the start of a lot of people's career.
Yes.
Like, this was the starting point.
Do you remember the first time you saw In Living Color? Because that came out before we were born. So
I saw it by accident one time. I was at my grandmother's house and I was just up mad late watching BET. I was flicking through the channels.
BET did used to show it.
I was flicking through the channels and I stopped at the show, and I immediately recognized Jim Carrey. I'm like, wow, he looked mad young. And then I see Jamie Foxx. I'm like, wait, what is this? And then it was at the time where it wasn't even IO, it was still Cablevision. And then I clicked the info button and it said In Living Color. I'm like, what's this? And I really just sat there and I'm like, oh, it's like Black SNL. I was like, oh, this is funny. This is cool. And I'm like, how come I never heard of this? Where has this been my entire life? So then I asked my mom about it. And she told me what it was and everything. But I had to have been like maybe 11 or 12. So then, I was probably around. No, I think I might have been a little bit younger when I came across In Living Color, because I can't remember if it was BET or if we had like an actual tape in our house. I feel like we had a tape in our house, and like, because that was really how I discovered a lot of things. Like even blaxploitation shit was like, we just had tapes in the house and we would have a movie night. But I do remember that BET did used to like show reruns of it, but it was like late at night. That's what I'm saying. Like I was up like that. Just mad late.
You just up and you scrolling and it's like, oh, well, let me watch this. And then of course you ask a parent or ask an adult, and then it's like, oh, so that's what it was. And it's one of those things where you watch it and it's funny. And I think for me as a kid, like it was cool, but then to get older and really understand what that show meant, it made it even more of like, well, damn, why is it so obscure? Why can't you really find any of this stuff? I did find actually, like I want to say a year ago, I found a YouTube channel that they didn't have everything, but they had like the fun, like the skits everybody kind of knows. But it is kind of sad that you can't find any of this stuff, and the reason why you can't is because it's basically caught in limbo. So like, I guess we should get into the Super Bowl moment, right? Or maybe should we say, do you have a favorite skit or something from In Living Color?
Honestly, you know what was my favorite part?
What?
Watching the Fly Girls.
The opening is what is
that
iconic.
was my favorite part because I was a dancer at the time.
Yeah.
So that was part of the reason why I used to watch it. And then like I remember I was in a talent show at school with a group, and I was like, "We're the Fly Girls." So
you want to kicking that leg so bad.
literally, I love the Fly Girls. I wanted to be a Fly Girl.
That opening is so cool. I promise you, no one is ever going to have an opening to a show that
even
is
that
cool.
the song is ingrained in my brain.
What you wanna do, and then the color.
That shit is so hard.
No, it is like it's and shout out to Heavy D, rest in peace.
Yes.
For even creating that. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. What is one of my? There's this skit. I know it's Jim Carrey and I think it's David Allen Greer, and they're in.
I know exactly.
They're in a church and their pastor. Jim Carrey is singing. He's like, I had a voice the other day. And I was like, it is just so funny because like we know what Jim became,
right?
So to see him on like some nigga shit like that,
just dog.
Or what was it? Fire my shot. Like shit like that is just funny, bro. I feel like you get like what was Jamie Foxx's like that female character?
I couldn't think and it was a skit that he did.
Yeah.
Him and Keenan did.
Yes.
And they were both dressed up.
Yes. And they were on the dating show.
Yes.
And he's like
and he got his eyes. I could not think of his name, but yes, that skit definitely ingrained in my brain.
That stayed in my head. It's one of Kim Wayans, and she's like, yes, it is Kim Wayans, and she's like the neighborhood like nosy woman, and she's just outside the window. She's like, y'all didn't hear this from me, but I heard down the street that they did it. Or the one where she remade what's the name? She was like, she wakes up, but she remade it, and it was like Scooby Doo. Or when I think that was Damon and Keenan when they were like the Homeboy Network, and they were selling shit out, but they had the Nat song. Like
Yo.
It was just funny, like the way I think we're just taking things that are so common in urban communities, or just things that we pay attention to as just us, and highlighting them like that. But yeah, I guess we could get to the Super Bowl thing now. So I think this story is like commonly known at this point now. But
you'd be surprised.
Yeah, true. So in 1992, Keenan and the whole In Living Color crew and everybody at Fox was like, hey, we should put on like a halftime like thing, you know what I'm saying? Because most people don't really watch the halftime, or if they do, it's like a skating team, or it's like some random singer.
Shit.
Like, it's not entertaining. So they put together this like just halftime special. In Living Color special, and the ratings were higher for that than they were for the Super Bowl halftime.
Mad,
and the NFL was like, "This is unacceptable. There's only one man we can call, one person at a time like this."
And boy, did they make that!
Who has the number to Neverland immediately?
Hello, this is Michael.
Hi, okay, so I'm the NFL and you, Michael.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding. Hello, Michael?
Hello.
Hey, this is the NFL. Hi, how you doing?
Oh, hi.
Yeah. So I don't know. Did you watch last year's halftime? Was that something that you watched? Did you care? Did you?
Not really.
You know what, Mike? It doesn't even work.
Oh, okay.
So we would really, really like you to perform at this year's Super Bowl halftime performance.
Oh man, guys, I don't know. I have a lot going on. You know,
We will pay you anything in the world.
Anything?
Anything.
Okay, well, let me speak with my accountant.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. If you could get back to us by like, oh gee, okay, it's 6:00 right now. If you could get back to us by like 6:15, that would be so great. We would really appreciate that,
Okay,
Mike.
well, you guys may have to give me a little time. I'm here with Bubbles
I
right now.
can give you to like 6:15, Mike. That's the latest I can do. That's
Okay.
the latest I got. Okay.
Okay, I'll give you a call back.
All right, Mike.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I do whatever you need, Mike. Yeah, just call me back. Just come here, right? Like in 5 minutes, I need you to come back. Thank
I
you.
really don't want to do the show.
And that's the funny thing. He really did not want to. I really don't.
I'm just so tired of.
I actually don't watch football. That was actually something Michael did say. He did. I don't even watch football. But yeah, they called Mike. Mike did what he needed to do, and he completely reinvented the Super Bowl halftime as we now know it.
Yeah.
Which thus triggered a whole bunch of like legal bullshit that then happened between Fox and In Living Color. There were a lot of like disputes over like money and ownership. And that's why if you watch like the last season, if you're able to even find anything on the last season, but if you watch it, you'll notice that Keenan's not really on the show. Mm-hmm. The siblings, they're on the show, but they don't seem as enthused or as excited to be on the show. And the show pretty much died out at that point because Keenan
I wonder, exited. And I just thought about this. I wonder if they created any new FCC regulations because of that.
Like you can't have your own. Yeah. Well, I mean, they have the little doggy shows and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like, because they always putting shit in place.
But that is interesting that, like, when you think about it, like, well, I know MTV partnered with them one time on a Super Bowl halftime. But when you think about it, no network has really stuck their neck out to be like, hey, we're doing our own halftime performance since then.
Exactly. I wonder.
That's a really good business thing that we should probably look into. Like, if that did become a thing.
Yeah, if it did become a thing.
Oh, wow.
I just thought about that.
But that is like something to think about of like now we have to put regulations to protect this thing, like because that is so powerful that, and I wonder how much that disrupted things of like at Fox. Saying. Yeah, that's, like I'm just like, oh, this show
because if you look at the trajectory of Fox from then to now, it's a completely different network.
It's Trump's network.
It's Trump's network. So it's like, how do we go from there to here? Like what? Like, was that the catalyst, you think?
Money talks.
What if that was the catalyst? That would be insane.
That would be insane. And it's also interesting because, like we talked about before, you can't find In Living Color in distribution because it's in this, like, legal limbo. Yeah. And I wonder if that incident could have possibly triggered.
Imagine? Imagine?
Well, I mean, that was something that that was ultimately our question with In Living Color was that did it open doors or just did it teach networks what they needed to do so that they could just copy and repeat and become profitable on their own without needing you?
That's deep.
That is deep.
Damn.
That you think you're kind of getting away into having your own, and then even still there's roadblocks ahead.
But that's literally the story of our life.
Yeah.
That's literally
the story of just being a Black American.
Like, yeah.
But I think the impact of In Living Color is like, I see it in TikTok every day. I see it in Drewski. I see it in all of the online communities we've had since Vine, TikTok, whatever. Like, all of the men who put on the wigs and pretend to be women, like all of that.
We even had our, like as kids, we had our own In Living Color with all that.
Yeah.
It was literally
and then that transitioned into Wildin' Out.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, like I think without In Living Color, you don't have that door opening. It's just unfortunate that we haven't had another show like that since, really. I know Wildin' Out is still like holding on, like they have like a lot of deals and partnerships, but even they have kind of like went on like a down.
It's not what it was in like the 2010s, like around that time.
No. So yeah, after In Living Color, because around like 95-ish is when In Living Color starts dimming out, but in the early 90s, after In Living Color, you do also get two more shows that kind of really stabilize Fox, and that one is Martin, of course, with Martin Lawrence, who like really becomes like the voice of young Black America. Like it takes place in Detroit, which is really, you could copy and paste that in any other major urban city in the 90s, and it's the same like format. His friend group is very relatable. There's Tommy, who we don't know what the fuck Tommy does for a living. And we just all just gonna assume that
Right.
Tommy got it together.
Look.
You have what's the name? Cole, who like is just a fucking idiot.
Just the derelict.
Like, why are you here?
We're like, what's going on right now?
Like, who raised you?
Literally, who raised you?
And then you have Gina, who's the girlfriend.
Yes.
And of course, every girlfriend comes with a friend.
Of course.
So you have Pam, who can't stand her friend's boyfriend. I'm that friend.
Me too. Me too. I'm like, this nigga
I'm
not,
not, yeah, who the fuck is this nigga?
I'm gonna be nice to him because it's you, but
yeah, but we ain't really fucking with him like
he
that.
could go to hell.
And even the sub characters are like kind of people that we know. Like you got Bruh Man, who just be like, even if they're not crawling through your window, like bumming shit off. Like,
There's literally a bruh man in my building.
There's a Bruh Man in my
Literally. Dude like 6'4".
What?
Yeah.
Oh, he's legit Bruh Man.
Yeah, he a little off.
He's Bruh Man.
Yeah.
There's Shanae.
Yes.
Yeah, well, everybody knows a Shanae. Yeah, and then Shanae had her friends.
Right.
Because what was it, Kilolo?
And like the fucking name, bro. The name.
I'll be out there finding out Shanae in that group. That I can't hurt them. You want some, but you can't get none. No, don't be trying to talk to me and try to figure out what the fuck I got going on over here. Because
Yo.
what type of performance was that?
I don't know. Just anything.
Anything. And I think that's what was so funny because, like, yeah, it was a little bit over dramatic in some senses, but Martin was like, he was on the radio, so he has some stains, some clout. We moving something,
right.
And he's always put in these predicaments where his ego is just being checked.
All
like
the time.
I think of like when he went in the boxing ring. Like, why would you? He just set himself up like that,
doing stuff.
Like, or when he went on a, what was it, Darnell Varnell show?
Oh yeah.
Had a fight with Michael Jackson.
Like just anything.
He joined a cult.
He was like how
Brother Sunflower. Right.
Brother Sunflower. Hey yo.
Yeah, he went and joined a cult. What else did Martin was always getting himself into some shit.
I think one of my favorite things about Martin was it was a scripted television show, but you could tell it was authentic. Like there were so many episodes where they broke character or they were trying so hard. Like the episode, I think when somebody stole something.
When they was on New Jack City, and he had the door. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Then there's a random episode with Biggie and like
but that's the thing. Even the cameos were like really good.
OD, like insane.
Like it wasn't like a forced cameo. Like you could tell it felt really natural.
Yeah.
Martin is a show that's still funny to me.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people have had like opinion. I mean, anything when Tom goes on, it's going to age in a different way, and people are going to have different opinions on it.
And
you know, Ari,
find out certain lore.
Yeah,
about the
you know, Ari Lennox went on her rant about you know shows from that period. I think Martin was one of the main ones that she was going in about, and like that's not to like say that her argument or that other people's arguments like that aren't valid, because you know I think we should revisit things and go, oh well, that wouldn't really work in this day and time, but. I think understanding where we were culturally and socially as a people, like you got to think about it. Like we talked about New Jack City the last episode, and we kept laughing about it.
Right.
So imagine at that time they probably thought that shit was dead ass funny. And so to then put that on TV after the film had came out, and it hadn't been that long.
It was
about a
few
year.
years.
Yeah, like so it's still fairly recent in most people's memory, and so to then do that on TV is like
tough.
That's so timely. And then the fact that it aged so well that it's still funny. Like, I think Martin Lawrence is a fucking genius.
But that kind of goes back to what we were saying about the Cosby Show, like with the Happy Anniversary episode. Yeah. It's like what happens in the creative process that allows you to do something like that you know will still be relevant across generations. Yeah. Like, what is that? Like, how do you do that? And I just think that that's so cool.
But I think it's like you said, the chemistry they had. Even when they still get together and do reunions, or Martin's getting like honored with something, they'll all come together. You can tell it was just something between them. It just worked so perfectly. Yeah. And also thinking about it too, like a lot of them knew each other for years. Like names are escaping me, but Tisha Arnold and then
Campbell.
Tisha Campbell and then Tashina Arnold.
Yeah.
I'll be getting it mixed up, but like they knew each other for years since they were
like
kids. Like literally
12 years old.
They were on they were in the movie together.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors together.
Even before
that, they were doing movies together and doing stuff together. And then Martin and Tisha, they were in House Party together. They were also in Boomerang together. So even though different scenes, but they, so there was this like camaraderie of just amongst them of like, we kind of came up together anyway. And so I think to then just see them all in action and just even like every place meant something, like Nipsey's bar. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like the radio station, or when he had the TV show and it was like, I can see it all in my head. That apartment is iconic.
I was about to say, and even Gina's apartment, when she moved out of her apartment into his apartment.
Yeah. Like, first of all, shout out to Big Sean for when he did the Play No Games video.
That was a really good video. And I love that song.
And the fact that he had Martin in it at the end, it was like, oh, this is genius. I absolutely love that. And the fact that Chris was cold.
But it makes sense. It makes sense. Like, I could see him being that person in his friend group. Like, this nigga just like, doing shit. Like, all right, bro. Like, God, he probably do got a big Shirley. Like, I can see that.
I can see him having a big Shirley. Like, on the low. Even though I know people be saying he colorist and shit like that. I think,
come on. That man is from Tappahannock, Virginia. Let's be for real.
I think he might have some big man.
Let's be for
real. But yeah, I think that Martin is one of those shows that just like, we had put it down in notes, but like the show became memes before like memes were a thing. Yeah. Like you could reference like, what was it? Joe? Was it Joe? No, it wasn't Joe the security. What was the security guard? Like the big old guy.
Jerome.
No, Jerome was the other one.
The other guy.
I'm thinking about the security with the gray hair. That's when he was wearing like the fat suit. I can't think of him, but it was like him, and then it was like Jerome, and then I'm in the house. I said Jerome in the house.
Player from the Himalayas.
And then it was just so many. He played his mom.
Yeah, like what the like mad random, bro.
And I was trying to figure out during the wedding how they were going to make that work. Like every time I watch that episode, I'm like, how are we going to make this work? And then it works out. But
look, editing.
Yeah, and then Babyface was in that episode singing like, come on, like and no one questions where the fuck Babyface came from.
Like it just makes sense. It's like, all right, this nigga work on a radio.
Wait, but then Brian McKnight singing to them in the park?
Yeah.
No, it was Brian McKnight, right? Who sang to them in the park?
Wasn't Gerald Levert in the episode too?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was just a lot of people. It was a lot of people in there. Pam, they had the Blaxploitation episode. Pam Grier's in there. Like, oh man, great show. Yeah. But I think what makes Martin so great is that it wasn't like family shit. Like it was meant to be loud and urban and regional and to feel alive. And I think when you watch it, you still feel that for sure. Martin.
Oh, how y'all feel?
And that's the other thing too. The theme songs on these shows,
bro.
Oh my fucking God.
This was real life production.
The next one, that really was my shit.
Come on.
You did a Tribe Called Quest on niggas?
Do, 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 do. Like, that shit was like, so fucking
what? And first of all, how it started, we're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Da 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 da. Give me a high five. All right, cut and print. Beautiful guys. I've watched that show just way too much. But yes, next we have the Wayans Brothers. So this is when In Living Color has ended. And they're still working and moving and making films and stuff. But now it's time for the younger generation to break through. And we have Sean and Marlon who break through. And they become like the new energy of the Wayans Brothers. I feel like prior to them with Keenan and Damon, it's very like over-exaggerated, colorful, very like tongue-in-cheek, very like paying homage to the shows and films and people that they watch growing up. Whereas like when Sean and Marlon come in, it's a whole new brand of like humor. Like you can tell like they're very current, they're very of the time, like, and they're hot.
I was about to say they was
and they fine.
Marlon.
like and they're fine. Like, but I guess what I always loved about the Wayans Brothers show is that it never felt like granted it wasn't Martin or it wasn't like in living single. It wasn't like living single, but like it just had this certain energy. It felt like if I was in my early 20s in the 90s, that's a show that really would have like spoke to me because it has like this like slacker kind of stoner energy almost. Like they're working class, they run a newsstand. They were fly, like the sneakers and the outfits.
Between them, who you think had better fits, them or Martin? Because Martin's sneaker game was OD.
See, when Martin got in his bag,
He got in his bag.
Are we talking like in general or just the sneakers?
All right, let's just talk about sneakers. I think Martin got it. I ain't even gonna hold you.
This is hard.
I think Martin.
Because I think who dressed better, I think the Wayans.
I think the Wayans dressed better.
I think Martin had a better sneaker collection.
Okay.
And jersey collection.
Okay.
Like, I think Martin there, like, had it. But I think when it came to actually, like, style and shit, I like the Wayans Brothers style a little bit more than Martin's. But, like, Martin was fly.
He was.
Like, because you could also ask, like, about the Fresh Prince. So I'm saying, like, these niggas were style icons, too.
Yeah.
Like,
we'll get to them.
Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Wayans Brothers. It's not a show that I revisit a lot, but like I didn't realize how much they stay in my head, like bang bang bang, and pop like and his song and his dance, like. But yeah, that's like one of my like cool shows to watch.
Yeah.
Did I? Oh, because then we talk about. Okay, makes sense. Okay, no, because
I see what you did there.
Yeah, okay. I did. I saw my own shit.
I know what you was going.
Yeah, that's how it was like. Okay, I had to see my own shit. Okay, bet. Damn. So we moved that quick?
Yeah.
God damn. Okay, well then I guess we did. All right. On to the next. So then on the other side of town, on NBC, Quincy Jones is behind the scenes pulling some strings.
Per usual,
my Pisces king, was back there pulling some strings because the Fresh Prince needed to have his own show, and it's one of the most iconic shows in American history. I knew, like, I always knew the show was iconic, but I really knew, like, oh wow, Will is really in a different stratosphere. When a couple years ago, like, I used to just sometimes just watch YouTube videos, and I had watched when Prince Harry had first moved to LA.
Oh yeah,
the James Corden show. Yeah, like they had took him and they took him to the house, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I used to watch." I'm trying to do like a bridge. And he's like, "Yeah, I used to watch Fresh Prince," and then he's like, "Yeah, in West Philadelphia." And I'm like,
singing his English accent.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck?" Like, Princess Diana had you watching that shit.
But it makes sense.
It makes sense because you really are Prince. You really are Prince.
It makes sense. I feel like Princess Diana was watching that shit.
I mean, hello, like who was it? And I mean, that's when I was like, no, Will Smith is in a different.
Yeah, he's out of here.
He's out of here. And we talk about him more in the next episode when we really start talking about the blockbuster era of like films because like there's
outside. He was outside.
Will said, I have arrived. And I think, like, it's the perfect trajectory because, you know, he starts off, he's doing rap with, you know, Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff. And it's very, like, family-friendly rap. Yeah. Like, it's, like, you're not getting curse words. You're not getting, like,
just don't understand.
You know? Like, even Summertime, like, it's still, like, a family vibe type of thing. So then to transition him into TV, I think, looking back on it, probably at that time is probably like the smartest idea.
The best move.
I do know, like with House Party, him and Jazzy Jeff were supposed to be the alternative to Kid and Play. So like if they didn't want to do it, then it was like, hey, you want to do it? But of course it worked out the way it worked out. And that's actually funny too. It worked out the way it needed to work out.
It was supposed to go like that.
It worked out exactly how it needed to work out. But I mean, the Fresh Prince is really unique because you have like this like fish out of water kind of like concept of like you're taking this kid who grew up in Philly, which and we kind of talked about this when we were trying to talk about like the remake Bel-Air, but how that's more darker.
Yeah.
Because you can, like, now we understand what he was truly leaving from. Like, there's gang culture, there's violence.
Yeah.
But in the show, they make it seem like, oh, I got to win with a fight.
Yeah.
And so I had to leave. It's like, no, like, your life was
Like,
literally
you
on the
had to
line.
go.
You had to dip.
Like,
So I think even that level of how we display Black excellence or how we display Black mobility in America, I think Fresh Prince is like one of the real like strong, I would say outside of like maybe Dynasty like a little bit,
Yeah.
but like Fresh Prince is really one of those first examples of seeing like Black elitism
For
like
sure.
on the screen, not like, you know, that, but like really like on TV. But also this idea of like leaving the hood to go to that upward mobility and how that can, what that can do to you psychologically.
Yeah.
I think at that time they had to make it very light because it's a sitcom and it was the 90s. Things were still, they were not as progressive as they are now.
Right.
Which is why I think I enjoy Bel-Air so much. I mean, I know we'll talk about Bel-Air like when we get to that episode, but I think that's why I enjoy both of these shows so much, is because you see like the where they were able to take it in the 90s, and then this is where we were actually able to take it now.
Yeah.
But then you're really seeing this like luxury and like Blackness. Like the house is just beautiful,
Yeah.
and Aunt Viv just wears like the most nicest clothes in the 90s,
The
and like
vintage Chanel.
yes, and each sibling has their own aesthetic.
Yes.
Like they have their own. One is preppy. Well, they're all kind
They're
of
all
preppy.
preppy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, but I think they all, as time went on, they all started to have their own aesthetic. Which
Especially Ashley.
Yes.
Like her character development throughout the show.
I would say her and I hate that I can't think of anybody's name right now. Fucking Carlton. I think those two probably have the strongest like developmental
For sure.
arcs. But I love the fact, now that you're mentioning it, that it's kind of like they all evolved because of Will. Which I think
They needed him in a way.
yeah, because I think, and there could be an argument there of like, as upward mobility happens as Black people financially for us, do we still stay connected to our roots of who we are?
Right.
And I think that Will battled with that a lot on the show. I think even the moments when Viv's sisters would come and visit, just this idea of like, and I think that was challenged a lot. Like when Uncle Phil really did have to use his judge status to like get them out of jail. Or really when Carlton couldn't understand certain things and we'll be like, yo, this is real life shit. Like you're living in a bubble and this is really like what reality is. I think that they needed him just as much as he needed them.
Yeah.
And then also just the style, like we were talking about that, like I can say all the siblings and Will are like fashion icons in a sense.
He took the blazer, the school
Bro, and made that
turned it
shit
inside
fly.
out.
Like, I think like with the rolled up sleeves and the sneak
And the loose tie.
Yeah.
Like he made that
and a lot of us who went, I like think of us, like we went to a school where we had to wear uniform. I wore a blazer in school.
We made our uniform our own, and I really have to thank Will Smith for that. I swear,
honestly.
I swear, because I would have never thought to style my uniform
Like
in
that.
a certain way. Like I remember watching episodes of Fresh Prince and be like, "Oh wait, I like how he did his tie like that," and then,
I think like Will is kind of underrated in the fact that he definitely was and is a style icon from that period and from that time. And then I think just the emotional storytelling underneath it, like we were talking about that, like about how much they needed Will just as much as Will needed them, but also like I think about that scene where like, because I'll be honest with you, you watch the episodes and it's like, okay, Will's a good actor, he's funny, he's charismatic, okay, cool. But that scene where he's really like, yo, why you ain't want me, man?
Yeah.
Like
to this day,
niggas ain't lying when they say that's some real good television.
To this day.
That's some real good television. And even he said, he was like, you know, the guy who plays Uncle Phil, like, had hugged him and was like, yo, you killed that shit.
Yeah.
You ate that shit, nigga. And I think that's the beginning of Will Smith really becoming the safe crossover Black star. And you don't get to Michael B. Jordan without that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But another show that also was out around that time that kind of, you know, dealt with that distinction between upward mobility, what that all means, especially for young Black America emerging in the educational system, is a different world. Which, of course, is an offshoot from The Cosby Show. Which is funny because it was originally supposed to be about Denise's journey in college.
She was in the first season, right? And then
it was like,
she wasn't.
Van Moose. She wasn't. And she's gone. But I think that was because she got pregnant with Zoe.
Yeah.
So they basically was like, yeah, we can't do it. Which I actually think if they would have worked
it could have worked.
It could have worked.
Because do you know how many stories, like how many young girls that have a first year in college and get pregnant?
They get pregnant.
Oh shit. Okay.
Like now I got to deal with this. Like
it's so realistic, but the time.
Yeah, I understand, and I think that it would have been really cool to see Zoe kind of grow up on, because then you could work her into the show. Exactly. I mean, if that's what people wanted to do, but I respect Debbie Allen's vision. So yeah. But yeah, A Different World. I mean, it's not a. How can I put it? Because I have an unpopular opinion about A Different World.
I feel like a lot of people have unpopular opinions about it, but what's yours?
I really didn't think the show was that great.
Okay. All right.
I appreciate.
Okay.
I appreciate the HBCU, concept. Yeah, it's cool.
It's cute, but it's like if there's a show where people are telling you to skip the first season of it, it's like, all right.
But then again, I can understand that because maybe sometimes you need an artistic change, right? So,
But it's just like, why can't I, I don't know. I mean,
it's just not one that ever really held my attention. Like, even when I was a kid, that wasn't one of the shows that when it would come on, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to sit here and watch A Different World. Like, even now,
I'll turn the channel.
Yeah, that ain't my shit. Like
if Martin the Fresh Prince came on, I'm watching it. But Different, I'll be like, all right, let me go find something else to watch.
It ain't really my thing. But
sorry, y'all, because I know a lot of people.
They love A Different World, and they got the reboot about to come back on Netflix. So I'm excited to see if maybe the reboot does something for me. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't, and I'm not the biggest fan of A Different World. However, I can respect it. Yeah, I can respect and understand it for what it is and what it represented, especially at that time. Because again, even back to last episode, we were talking about school days and just about HBCU representation and how much that was lacking. And I think without A Different World, you don't get the grownish or, you know, certain type of shows that do focus on a certain black focused experience. And I think the characters are iconic.
Absolutely.
I think even the style on that show is iconic, like the flipped up glasses and
if you see those glasses, you know
exactly what's going on. Jada and her hair, and then when Pac came on the episode, you know what I'm saying? It's just different moments. And I think Whitley. Whitley, she's become her own icon in a sense. I actually saw something on Twitter last week that was they felt like Whitley and what's the old boy name that she was with? That she ended up marrying? Dwayne, yeah. Whitley and Dwayne were not an ideal relationship. Basically, they feel like Whitley settled for Dwayne.
I saw that conversation too. There's been a lot of discourse about that over the years. And like I said, I didn't really watch too much of the show to really have an opinion about it, but just from what I've seen, I understand why people say that. But then again, it's
I do feel like if I spent all that money on a wedding and then you come running in talking about something,
baby, please. Because why you want to wait till I'm really just
we done paid
manipulative as hell.
Come on, son.
That was some Pisces shit.
He a Pisces?
I don't know, but that was some Pisces shit. I don't know. I feel only Pisces and Gemini men do shit like that. Well, actually, all of them.
No, I feel like there's a couple men that
That's what I'm saying. All of them. All of them.
I just think that's fucked up to let somebody pay for a whole big ass wedding. That shit is not romantic to
me. Baby, please bruh. Eject this nigga.
And didn't Patti LaBelle pay his mom?
Yes.
Okay. But that show is important because Gina Prince Bythewood, she did write on A Different World. And this is a name that you will hear next episode because she wrote and directed Love and Basketball. So
horror movie.
Definitely a horror movie. It just goes from horror to horror.
I can't wait to talk about that shit. Oh, I can't wait.
We're never going to talk to Gina, ever.
Love you, girl.
Love you down. I love the woman warrior, the woman king. Woman I love the woman warrior. No, I really do love women.
It's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
It was a really good movie.
That's a really good movie. Stop. But yeah, no, she wrote on the show, and it's actually funny because as we were researching a lot of these shows, there's so many like filmmakers or just people who still stayed in TV who were writing on shows and cross networking and meeting other people.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see this kind of network that was being built in Hollywood amongst these screenwriters and amongst these directors. That was starting to happen, really. But after like that whole like Fox and other little random black TV shows, you get the emergence of UPN and the WB. I remember the WB when they actually used to have a commercial with the dancing frog.
Yes.
That's what I had. That's the WB I remember, which tells me I am reaching auntie status. I'm reaching auntie status. And I remember when UPN, like, that was just strictly nigga shit. Like, I mean,
it's so bad, yo. I remember the credits at the end of the shows where they would have like all the different
yeah.
Big ticket. That was like
Big ticket production. What am I remembering? I used to remember the little outros too. One of them was like "Tika!" or something like that. One of them was like that. Yeah. I used to, y'all, cause you used to just sit there and watch like. Chicka.
And then didn't wrestling come on UPN? Because I used to stay up and watch that show with my grandfather.
Yo, my aunt, shout out my aunt Lily and may she rest in peace. She used to watch wrestling. That was her shit,
used
bro.
to watch wrestling.
That was really. I used to hate Thursday nights.
What used to come on? I think it was like Martin. Something used to come on, and then it was wrestling. Then the news.
The 10 o'clock news. Yeah.
And when that came on, I knew it was time for me to go to
Bruh,
bed.
as soon as wrestling come on, all right, y'all got it. All right, bro. Now I like wrestling. It's funny. It's funny how things come back.
And they be having like little storylines.
Yes, I'm like, all invested.
I'm like, oh, this is like Love and Hip Hop.
No, for real. Whoop his ass. The fuck? If anybody out there ever wanted to date me, a dream date is I really want to go to like a WWE, like SmackDown. Like I really want to go to a SmackDown and kind of flash my bra and like.
You want the person you dating to
yeah, like I'm here to be a rocker chick.
I mean, look.
I'm here to be on my Stone Cold Austin bag.
Manifest.
Like, walking out. Like. Like I'm on my shit. I'm coming in there. I want to be on my rocker girl shit.
And you know what? You're gonna find the person that's gonna do that. I feel like that's gonna be so niche for y'all. Like I'm gonna love that for you when it happens.
Thank you.
It's gonna happen.
I'm really excited in advance. But UPN and WB was really cool because I felt like they were just really Black and youth focused. Like, yeah, Fox, sure. But, like, the UPN felt like our channel. Like,
just
that
what
felt
UPN
like our
stood
shit.
for, United People Network.
Yeah,
you
like,
can't get no more Black. Like, this is our shit.
This is our shit. Brick, Bob, motherfucking brick, okay? But also, like, looking back on it, I now understand the science behind, like, almost branding your demographic. Because, like, it shows that we're on UPN or the WB that only would have worked on those networks. Exactly. And as we see when we get to the consolidation era, like when those shows were wiped out, so was that demographic. Like, and it's interesting the corporate shift that did happen, and that like by the late 90s, you do get this like Black programming becoming less central and then networks becoming more broader and wider. Yeah. And you still had UPN and WB holding on, but like there did reach a point where it's like, yeah, this isn't going to last much longer.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But they did give us some great shows like Moesha. Yes.
Mo-tada.
Eat-tada. Moesha. Did you like Moesha growing up?
I loved Moesha. Like, to this day, like, I can go back and watch season 1. What was it, like 5, 4?
It was about 5 or
yeah, I can watch every episode of Moesha like it's the first time I ever seen it.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy the show because, like, it feels relatable to kind of, like, my teen years in a sense of, like, the friend group that I had. And you know, like how I was moving, I had my little diary too. I thought
Yeah.
I was over there. The world is just keeping
Moesha
spinning.
is the reason I started journaling.
Really?
I didn't know what journaling was until I watched Moesha. And I'm like, oh, she's writing her feelings down.
Yeah, like
Let's try it.
this seems cool. But I also think like Moesha is just so cool. And like, you know, Brandy's book just came out. Shout out to my friend Garrett Kennedy, who actually co-wrote the book with Brandy.
Yes.
Please go check it out. It's called Phases. Great book. Love you, Garrett. But you know, Brandy, I think people, because again, when you then have someone like a Beyonce or a Rihanna or whoever who comes out, I know it's easy to forget the true pillars and foundation, but if you were really there, you really understand just how big of a star Brandy was, like how big of a media star she was. Like, she had a whole fucking Barbie doll
That I
still have. It's somewhere in my mom's closet.
I moved a lot as a kid.
Yeah, I need to go over there, kind of digging out a little bit. But like, Brandy really was a pop superstar. Like, she was fucking Cinderella.
Come on now. Come on now.
With Whitney as her godmother. Like, it doesn't get no better than that.
You can't get any better than that.
But Moesha is just one of those shows that I think really shows Black teenage girlhood in a very honest way. Of course, you can have your qualms or issues with it. I know a lot of people feel some type of way about her dad and how horrible he was. He wasn't ain't shit dad. He was horrible.
Fuck Mr. Mitchell.
No, honestly, Frank Mitchell, you bitch. You bitch. But I think if you really want a snapshot, I think it's a 90s girl, like Black girlhood.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the perfect shows to watch. And then of course it brings my queen, literally all hail, Mara Brockakil.
Yes.
I literally praise the ground that she walked on. But Mara she wrote on Moesha, and she also wrote on the Jamie Foxx show. And I really think it's important to talk about Mara because her brand of writing and creating TV shows, like, she really is one of the architects of the modern Black, like, TV emotional realism.
Yes.
Like, anything
I love
dealing...
the way you worded that.
Thank you. That's my queen. Anything with relationships and identity, whether it's Moesha or whether it's fast forwarding to like being Mary Jane, like, she just does, or even Forever if we're going to be super current,
right?
She does an amazing job of really examining like the emotional realness to how we feel and how we operate as Black people.
And it's so relatable because even just throughout the different shows that you just named, like, I've had experiences in my real life that are depicted in each one of those shows. Like, I was watching Forever and I'm like, damn, that happened to me when I was like 16.
And
like,
that takes place around the time we were teenage, like 2016, 2017. We were already out of high school, but you know, still young.
It resonated and it felt relevant. She has a way of making all of that feel relevant without the over dramatization of it or like, you know, just making it seem like it doesn't exist. All of these things happen.
Yes.
Like,
I met Mara Brockakil one time. It was the same night I met Spike Lee. I know, crazy night. And I told her I wanted to break into Hollywood, and she told me, do it. She said, your first script is going to be horrible, but do not stop. Thank you, Mara Brockakil. I love you. But outside of Mara, there's also, and if we fuck up your last name, I want you to know I have ADHD, so please blame it on my learning. That's technically not a learning disability, but we're going to blame it on that, okay? But Ralph Farquhar, who is a name that you're probably like, but I promise you, if you look it up, and you're going to be like, oh, I've seen this name before. I know this guy. He worked across Moesha, the Parkers, South Central, Proud Family. He actually created the Proud Family.
Yes.
And Sinbad. And like we said earlier, as we was looking through these shows and we were seeing the people that wrote on these shows, executive produced these shows, produced, directed all of these shows, it's like, it's crazy how so many of these influential Black writers and directors and creatives were never really household names. They really did. Like, it's not, if I go up to my mom, she's not going to know some of these people that I'm naming, but like, they created some of the most influential art that we've had on TV. And so that's always like intriguing to me, like who actually wants the credit or who's actually craving that public validation opposed to just doing the work, just putting it out and being happy that ages the way it ages.
I think I'm one of those people where like, I just want to put the shit out.
You're a very like Ralph Farquhar, whereas I'm more of a Spike Lee. Yeah. I'm sitting front row at the basketball game. You gonna see me, nigga.
And I'm gonna just be like, we here type shit. You know, I think it's because I spent a lot of time in the forefront. And it's like,
You don't wanna do that shit no more.
Yeah, nah, my anxiety too bad for all that.
Speaking of being in the forefront, we also get like our first real black late night show with Arsenio Hall in the 90s. Who the fuck does that on a show, yo?
God damn it.
But I think that he called them the dog pound.
Yeah.
I think they but Arsenio Hall, like, and that's another one where I feel like they used to show the episodes late at night and then maybe you just didn't see them anymore. But like, to me, one of the greatest like late night shows of all time. I mean, the amount of guests that he had on there. Muhammad Ali. He had fucking Mr. Rogers on there.
Yeah, Bill Clinton
on the playing sax. Like, nigga had like all of the iconic hip hop artists that you could think of. He had Prince on there. He had Michael on there.
Yeah.
Like, and like,
great fucking show,
bro. Man. Like, you can list off the name. He had Elizabeth fucking Taylor on there. Like, if you just start listing off the names of the people that Arsenio Hall had on that show, you would be like, how the fuck did that show come off the air? Like, and we said this when we had our meeting. I don't give a fuck if it's Jimmy Fallon. I don't give a fuck if it's Jimmy Kimmel. Especially Jimmy Fallon. Especially that motherfucker. You owe everything to Arsenio Hall. I don't even want to hear nothing come out of your motherfucking mouth. Except thank you, because you ripped that nigga off word for word, bar for bar. Okay? But just like his ability to translate black culture into mainstream culture, like the ecosystem that he built with that show, like we still have not had a major late night show that has been hosted by a black person since Arsenio Hall.
Bro?
You know why. You know why? They just took Homeboy off the air, Stephen Colbert. They just took him off the air. Yeah. And that's Stephen. He was in the big building. They took him off.
Big building.
He was in the big building. They took him off. So like, I think unfortunately with everything that's happening politically and socially, it's harder for if it's hard for late night hosts already to kind of do their thing without being threatened, imagine a black person being on late night.
It would start a motherfucking riot.
However, I will say, and I'm just going to throw this idea out there, I do think that TikTok is becoming the new TV. If one of you guys were smart, you would study the Arsenio Hall show and find a way to adapt that for the TikTok audience. I'm just a little tidbit if you wanted that. But I just love the fact that Arsenio created a space for black entertainers where they didn't have to shrink themselves. Yeah. Because if you think about it, everywhere else they had to go, they probably had to act a certain way, be a certain way, communicate things a certain way. They knew they could come to Arsenio and it's a safe space. You could perform, you could do what you want, and we can have a real conversation without you feeling like I'm diminishing you in any kind of way.
Right. Judging you or the audience is judging you. Any
Arsenio Hall, you're a fucking legend, bro. Don't let them play with your name.
We love you.
But then also, like, you, again, back to, like, these power players behind the scene. Like, at this time in the 90s, you have this emergence of women behind the scenes who are executive producing, directing, writing, all of these things. One of those main women, another queen of mine, Yvette Lee Bowser. She created Living Single, and I know the Friends crew like to say that they came up with whatever. You got that shit from Living Single. Like, we're not even going to play no fucking games with you. But I think Living Single really is the blueprint for me as far as like the friend group sitcom dynamic. Every friend had their own dynamic. The chemistry between the cast, you can tell like they genuinely all fucked with each other. Still to this day, they get together and go on each other's podcasts and reunions and stuff like that. And I think it also showed black women in a professional and social space. That was the first time I saw a black woman in entertainment, in media, like working. And I was like, oh, you can actually work in that?
You can do that?
That's a job? Okay, I know you can, but like, how do you do this? Like before Sydney and Brown Sugar, I had Khadijah in Living Single. And like, that will always mean so much for a girl like me because all I ever wanted to see was women like me and doing things like that on TV, on screen. So like, I think what I started to think about is that why are black women writers so erased from conversations about television innovations? Right. Like, we always give the credit to the white male producer, or we give it to this person or that person, but like Yvette literally started a blueprint, and she's still continuing it with Harlem, but like she started something that all of you have just inherently copied, Sex in the City.
So I was about to say Sex in the City.
Like,
The one working in media, the one that's a lawyer, like, all right.
it's generic. But also, that's why I loved how, like, when Jay did the video for, I forgot what song it was on 444, but when he, like, had Issa Rae, and he had all, like, the young black actors, and they were basically, like, recreating Friends, and it's like, yeah, no, this was us. Like, this is our shit.
Our shit.
This is our shit. But, I mean, like, I think what makes, like, talking about this era kind of, like, hard is just that, like, at the end of the day, it really shows you that creativity is great, but capitalism is always going to rank.
Always.
And, like, you know, by the end of the 90s, early 2000s, you're starting to get these network mergers. UPN, the WB merged together to become the CW.
Yep.
Which by that point, a lot of shows ended up being kicked to the curb, especially by mid-2000s, which we'll get to in like 2 more episodes. Of course, there's advertising that comes into that. So I don't want to put my ad for L'Oreal in the Parker's commercial. I don't want to, I don't want to put it in the slot for Martin. I want to put it in the slot for Friends. I want to put it in the slot for, I don't know, 90210.
Seinfeld.
Yeah, like I don't want to put my shit here. And unfortunately, that meant that urban programming became less prioritized, which also meant that the Black audience became less prioritized. Normally, I know when we do these episodes, we say, okay, what do we think triggered this? But we know that what triggered this is economics, like ultimately. So the other question that we had was, did Black TV disappear or did it get absorbed into the mainstream culture?
I think it got absorbed into the mainstream culture to make it more digestible to everyone else. Because it's like, all right, we made it about y'all long enough.
Yeah.
And other people need to know what's going on. Like, you can't just have your own shit. So.
Yeah. I think also by the 90s, Black culture is becoming commodified. Like, when we talk about music on the shiny suit era, from like 96 onward, you do get this rise in hip hop becoming mainstream and Black culture becoming mainstream. And if you thought that was going to happen in music and not happen across the other forms of art, then you're kind of lost here. Yeah. And as we do exit the 90s, which we are with this episode, and we enter the 2000s, we see the commercialization of our art, and we can see, is it really doing us good, or is it dimming the quality of the work that we were kind of building up?
I think it's a perspective thing, because one person can argue, yeah, it is doing us good because now, we're getting casted in more roles, and people.
The budgets are bigger.
The budgets are bigger. We can do like these multi-million-dollar productions and go to this production house and this. So like, I can see how people can say, but then I can also see how it can be diminishing. Yeah. And modern blaxploitation, as we call it, because it's like you're making a mockery of something that we fought so hard to take seriously. Yeah. And how we've had movies to depict how serious we take it, such as the movies that we talked about, like Do the Right Thing and Menace to Society and all those. And it's like, now you're taking it and making a mockery of it. And it's just like, once again, not letting us be great. Yeah. So. Yeah. But
I think we'll debate this more in the next episodes, but like, yeah, I think we got absorbed into mainstream culture, but we also bought in.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But the 90s was a fun time.
It was.
It was a fun time.
It was.
It was nice revisiting it.
It was nice.
Now I'm ready to get out.
I'm done with that shit.
I'm done with that shit.